I got to get to this real quick. The day has just been so busy. You'd think that after all these years that Hillary Clinton might have been able to read the room. She would have learned that talent of reading the room. Last week on MSNBC's Morning Joe, Hillary delivered one of the most divisive and tone-deaf comments I've ever heard her mention. And especially at a time when the country is grieving still, mourning the loss of the assassination of my colleague, Charlie Kirk, whose faith was an important part of his life. His patriotism was an important part of his life as well. When Hillary talked about certain men, I want you to listen to this. Here's Hillary.
The idea that you could turn the clock back and try to recreate a world that never was, dominated by, let's say it, white men of a certain persuasion, a certain religion, a certain point of view, a certain ideology, is just doing such damage to what we should be aiming for. And we were on the path toward that. I mean, imperfectly, lots of, bumps along the way, but I agree with you, we were on the right trajectory.
Yeah, there were a lot of bumps there, Hillary, a lot of bumps on the way. And the American people last November resoundingly said, we don't want to be on this path. It's the wrong path. But think about this for a minute. Let's just pause here and think about what she said. White men of a certain religion. We all know who she's referring to. She's referring to people like me, many of you. And again, at a moment when we need to be talking about unity, at a moment when we're mourning the death of one of the most prominent Christian conservative voices in our time, and she decides to fan the flames. She wants to divide people, suggesting that white Christian men, and that's what she's talking about, white Christian men are somehow damaging our country. The backlash came pretty quickly. Social media responded. One person wrote, 2 weeks after Charlie Kirk is assassinated, Hillary Clinton reminds everyone that white Christian men are dangerous. These people have no intention of turning down the temperature. No, they're not. They don't want unity. They don't want Republicans and Democrats to work together for the betterment of our country. They like the division. That's why Chuck Schumer has us in a shutdown right now. Another wrote, this constant drumbeat against white Christian men is dehumanizing and dangerous. And they're right. This kind of rhetoric from Hillary and anybody else is reckless anytime, but particularly right now, when you have probably some troubled young man out there thinking about how the assassin was able to take Charlie Kirk out and how there's some white Christian man he'd like to do the same to. And Hillary seems to be encouraging him to do so. It's hypocritical. And it's just downright dangerous for Hillary and others to talk like this, to have that perspective. That Christian white men is the problem of our country. Christian white men were the foundation of our country. Our founding fathers. And let's be honest, Hillary, she has a long history of this, let's just call it elitist contempt. Remember the basket of deplorables comment that she made? Now, years later, she's painting millions of Americans, hardworking fathers, veterans, churchgoers, small business owners, as somehow the villains in her worldview. That's why Hillary Clinton never made it to the Oval Office. And I don't know why these networks keep putting her on. That's the reason Hillary Clinton should not have even been on MSNBC. Surely they have standards too, right?